My name is Tracy Wicken. I'm a teacher here at North Dakota Vision Services School for the Blind. Today I'd like to talk to you about magnifiers. I want to give you an example of some of the magnifiers that we have here or that you can get at an optical place. The size of a magnifier oftentimes drives the power of it and how it will magnify for you. So I've got a few handheld magnifiers here of different sizes and different shapes actually. So this bigger one, this square one, isn't as strong as this smaller one. The smaller a magnifier is, the more power it has in the magnification and the higher it magnifies. Magnifiers in higher strengths can only be rectangle in shape to a certain point, and then after that, when they get stronger, then they turn to a round shape. So if you wanted a strong magnifier that was rectangle in shape, you probably wouldn't be able to find one. Just the rules of optics drive that. So you'll need to go to a round magnifier. So with a handheld magnifier, you need to know how to properly hold it, how to properly adjust it from the image or what you're trying to look at, and use it in a proper manner. So you start with it on the paper and you draw it towards you until it gets to the point where it's largest that it can be and visible. And if it gets distorted, then you can back it up a little bit, just a little bit, and then at that point is where you can read with the proper distance, and that's called the focal distance between the magnifier and the print or the object that you're viewing. So this is an example of a magnifier that does not have a lighted source to it, a non-illuminated one. There are illuminated magnifiers as well, handheld. This one has a light built in. If lighting is helpful, of course, you would add that extra light to the surface of what you're viewing. It adds extra light to it, making it more visible, and then you can see it better with that additional light. Some people are light sensitive, so a lighted magnifier would not be an option for them. But illuminated magnifiers can be very, very helpful to people that need that additional light for their reading purposes. Sometimes you might not want to do the adjusting. Sometimes magnifiers are a little heavy in weight, and that is laborious to hold it. You want something that you don't have to hold on to. So then you can resort to a magnifier that is lighted, that is more of a stand type. Now this one has that focal distance set for you. You do not have to do the adjusting. It's done for you. And so we turn on the light, and then you can view through the magnifying lens and just move the lens across the paper. It has that focal distance set for you, so you don't have to do the adjusting. You don't have to hold a magnifier at the proper distance all the time. It makes it easier for you for that strength of magnifier. There are illuminated stand magnifiers. There are also stand magnifiers that don't have any light source in them. They work in the same manner. This one as well, this is a dome magnifier. That has the distance set for you as well. So the magnification goes through this dome, and you look through this lens here, and then you can just look down through the lens and see kind of a line at a time. It's magnified to be a line at a time so that you can just slide it across the line and read the information that you're wanting to view comfortably without strain and with that additional light that's helpful to see. This is an example of a non-illuminated dome magnifier that you just place on the paper again, and you just move it across. Lightweight, easy to carry, compact, and you can move it across the paper to view what you want to view without that extra illumination. Again, different styles, different types of magnifiers for your purpose that you're using it for. And then again, here is a bar magnifier. So if you're reading a line of print, this one happens to have a line across the bar of the magnifier to help you to keep your place. So that's a way to help you guide you through properly across the line and then go down to the next line. Magnifies just a bit, but sometimes maybe that's all you need depending on the size of the original print. So that's a bar magnifier. Now this one is called a fixed focus magnifier. And I have a couple of heads here to demonstrate the difference between the strengths. As you can see, this one's larger, so it's not quite as strong, and this one is smaller, so it's a little bit stronger. These are detachable on this style of magnifier, so you wouldn't have to get a new handle. You could just change the heads out depending on how strong of the magnifier that you need. So this one has the distance fixed for you as well. And one thing with magnifiers too, you know, we can put them on the paper, or we can hold the paper like this, and I see a couple of letters of a word, and that's fine. But if I hold it closer to my face, kind of like a pair of glasses, close my eye and look through my best eye into the magnifier, I'm going to see a wider field of view. So I can see 2 or 3 words in this area where when I held it back like this, I was just seeing 2 or 3 letters. So it does make a difference on how you hold a magnifier, and that would go with instruction and knowledge of the person that you're working with when you're working with magnifiers, to help you to use it in the proper way so it benefits you the most. So holding it close like that is going to give you a wider field of view. This is an example of a magnifier that's handheld. I thought this was kind of interesting. Handheld, you can do the adjusting. It's bigger in size, so it's not quite as strong. Covers a bigger area, but again, depending on what you're viewing, you have to decide how strong of a magnifier you'll need for your purpose. This one also has legs that come out, so it could be a stand magnifier as well. And you can put it right on the paper, like the other ones I demonstrated. You don't have to hold on to it. You can go ahead and set it on the paper, and that distance is fixed for you. You don't have to do the adjusting. So you can get magnifiers that are multi-purpose or multi-style, I guess, in a sense. They can be handheld, they can be stand, all those things, just depending on your needs and what you're wanting to use it for. Another type of magnifier could be one that you wear on your person. Now, I've got a couple of them actually. I've got one around my neck, which is a pendant magnifier. Now this would be handy for anybody that needed a magnifier, just Johnny on the spot. It's hanging around my neck. I have it when I need it. It doesn't cover a big enough area, but I might just use it for spot checking, so it will come in very handy for that. And I can do that, again, up to my eye like this. I can move the print to view what I want to see, or if I want to hold it back, I can do that and see a price tag on an item in a store. Or I can see a menu in a restaurant, or look at my church bulletin to see what page the hymn is going to be on. Those types of things. You can use one that you wear on your person. And this is another one. Now it's not necessarily a fashion piece, but it's very functional. You wear it on your head. It adjusts in the back to the size of your head. So you put it on like a visor, and then if you have glasses already, it's not going to interfere with the glasses you have on, but you can place this lens down over your glasses, and then what you're wanting to view, you bring up to the point where it becomes most in focus. Now you have to hold it fairly close, but I can read like this very well and just move the material across, and I don't have to hold a magnifier. I'm wearing it on my head, my hands are free, and I can do whatever I want with my hands, whether it be reading a paper, or if I'm tightening a screw on something, or I'm doing some intricate work that requires both my hands to be working. I have magnification available, so I can do that thing that requires both my hands and still have a magnifying power that will help me to see it better. You can get these with lights on as well, so just depending on what you're wanting to use it for. Another type of magnification is magnification for distance. And now I've got just one example, but there are many. This is called a telescope, and it is used for mobility purposes, or spotting things at a distance, maybe the house number on a house, or maybe I just want to see a bird in a tree, or I want to see the birds eating outside my window, or a sporting event. I mean, there's so many things that we need to be able to see things at a distance. And this is an example of a magnifier that you can use for that purpose. You place that right up to your eye, and then you do the adjusting to hone in and focus more on the item that you're wanting to view. There is a little bit of practice that goes along with that, but distance magnification is another type of magnification, and magnification that will help you to see things farther away rather than at near proximity. So telescopes are another type of magnification device. Then finally, a lot of these magnification devices that we've talked about are in regard to optics and optical magnification. There is magnification that you can get using video means, video magnification. This is an example of a small portable video magnifier. It doesn't have a lens like a lot of these other styles type, but it has a screen on it, and we turn this on, and we can place it or use it as a handheld magnifier in a sense, holding it over the paper to see what we want to view. And it shows a video image, like a TV in a sense, a video image on the screen of the information that I'm viewing. You can adjust the size of that with the different controls that are on this video magnifier. You can also adjust the contrast or the foreground and the background, maybe like a white print on a black background rather than black print on a white background. You can make those changes in contrast to make it easier for you to view with the vision that you have. And then this button at the top, the blue one here, it looks like a camera. It takes a snapshot of what you're wanting to view. So if I press that, and then I move the magnifier away, it has taken a still shot of that area that was now magnified. Now this feature would be helpful if you were taking a picture of a prescription label of medication, and then you were going to go somewhere to read that number to somebody. So video magnification is something that's very helpful to a lot of people. A little bit more expensive in a sense than some of these optical magnifiers, but sometimes a more realistic means of magnification for their purposes, and sometimes a very helpful means to do that. If you would like additional information or assistance on magnifiers, please feel free to email me at trwicken@nd.gov. That's trwicken@nd.gov. You may also call North Dakota Vision Services School for the Blind at 701-795-2700. We carry a wide variety of magnifiers at our store. You can come into our store during our business hours of Monday through Friday, 8 o'clock till 4:30, or browse the online catalog of products on our website, www.ndvisionservices.com, under the Services heading.